Howdy folks, KC LaCourse coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada with another video showcase of Hearts of the West. It's cowboy poets, Western musicians, singers, songwriters, and at the end I have my tip of the hat, which pays tribute to a person, place, or anything that keeps us moving forward in the Western community. And sometimes I post a classic Western movie clip, maybe a favorite of one of you. So keep watching the showcase. Also, I post on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And I'm going to start putting a link on the Facebook page that leads to my YouTube page, KC LaCourse. Like and subscribe. I think we get a bigger viewing audience. And I just want everyone to see all the talent we have in this community. I know a lot of you already have your own YouTube channels. Well, let's put another one on there. Like and subscribe, KC LaCourse. Thank you, folks. Now, I'm going to recite one of my poems, and the inspiration for this poem is in Mr. Brady Jandreau. He was a rodeo rider, and he got bucked off his horse, and he got stomped on the head by that horse. And they had to put a metal plate in his head. He survived, and he now has his own ranch, and he trains horses. He can't rodeo anymore, but he's alive, and which is a gift from high above. Actually, it's a gift of God. So this is his picture, Brady Jandreau. There it is. Look at that horse and him. Is that just? That is an incredible photograph. I caught this article about him in Cowboys and Indians magazine, and I was just inspired to write a poem about him. And it's titled The Bond of Love by KC LaCourse. It's a hard life. He says he was born to it like a blade to a knife. It's a hard life. It's like no other. There's feeding, branding, moving cattle from one place to another. Drought and death, it's a life most challenging. Not many jobs that are tougher. A realization that it's created a bond with animal and land that is above and beyond. It's one of hard-earned dedication, a connection, a love with a true direction. A sharing of hearts. Just look at that expression. Brady Jandreau gave me a lesson of simple, pure affection. I was compelled to write about these two and give an honorable mention. Thank you, Brady. Thank you, friends.
My dad is a cowboy, and when he's asked about his religious affiliation, he will say, "I deal direct." That inspired me to write this poem called Cowboy Cathedral, about a cowboy who teaches a preacher about the beauty and the wonder of God through nature. I hope you enjoy it. I'm privileged to have a friend of mine put this poem to pictures. Cowboy Cathedral. Cowboy Cathedral. Dew drenches the morning grass as the cowboy spots his guest, picking his way up the muddy lane in his rickety Nissan Quest. The new preacher emerges, shakes hands, nice to meet you. Then small talk about the weather, as folks are prone to do. They stroll over to the barn where the cowboy saddles his mare, and he tacks up a gelding while the preacher rambles, unawares. Conversation runs a little thin, and the preacher states his case. I've been at the parish 5 months now, and I've never seen your face in the house of God. No, not once, and I'm worried about your soul. The cowboy focuses his gaze beyond the preacher at a frolicking foal. Come, ride, and he canters his sorrel across the pasture. The preacher feels he has no choice, comes with the job of being pastor. So he mounts the horse he had ignored and does as he is bidden, and it doesn't take long until he recalls it's been years since he has ridden. Jolted back to childhood as he plunges through sweet wild clover, and yo-yoed back to the present when he witnesses a hummingbird hover. He catches up to the cowboy perched overlooking a verdant ravine. They linger in rapt silence as they survey the spectacular scene. "This is my cathedral," the cowboy whispers as the playful wind pounces on a spray of wild yellow flowers and dances on again. "See those trees? That's my heaven channel, my steeple. Do you hear how quiet it is without the chatter of all those people?" Talking to God is natural here where it's silent but for the wind and the subtle choirs in the grass that make my spirit sing. They focus like a circus audience on two whirling red-tail hawks, and when the acrobatics are over, the cowboy has herded his thoughts. I hear folks bemoan their faltering faith, and I am right astounded. How could anyone doubt when by all this we are surrounded? Those rocks that look like they've been poured make me feel mighty small, and I've come round to believing it's the healthiest perspective of all. Touching his finger to his lips, he leads the preacher's eyes to a deer with her fawn foraging under paint-by-number skies. Most church folk worship for 1, maybe 2 hours a week at best. But up here in the Cowboy Cathedral, the worship never rests. You breathe it in. You live it in every action. It permeates your being. You know yourself. Your spirit's been touched today by all you're seeing. The preacher could not deny he felt closer to God than he'd ever been. And he realized, for this cowboy's soul, he had no need to intervene. What he came to do and what he learned, completely unexpected. But the preacher had to admit, the cowboy's perspective he respected. Sunday mornings, the cowboy stays at home just like he's always done. And the preacher doesn't worry about this cowboy's soul. No, not this one. From time to time, he sends over a person whose soul is bruised and reeling, so they can attend the Cowboy Cathedral, so the soul can commence its healing.
Funny how the freedom can close in on around you. There's nothing left, you're looking at the time. The way it all rolled out, pretty much the way you planned it. Still it somehow ain't quite what you had in mind. Riding for the money, riding for the brand, living it all over in a swamp. You should have found a better way of running down your time. Just didn't plan to hang around so long.
Howdy photo pips. Welcome back. It's just a quick memory that I've uploaded to YouTube, but feel free to enjoy. Basically it's a video about having this hat shaped into this style. I always wanted a cowboy hat. Two reasons: I just love cowboy hats, I think they're really cool, and the second reason is they make great masculine portraits. Single flashlight, just with some catchlight and a nice shadow under the brow. So that's one of the other reasons. While I was there, I did love this hat, but I weren't quite set on the shape, so I asked this guy Michael who worked there at Boot Barn if he could manipulate it to a style that I preferred, and he did. And he's there steaming and turning and cooling. And the good thing was I had the M3 on hand, and I thought, hang on, this is an opportunity here. So I filmed him shaping this hat, and also took some stills. Now it's quite dark in the shop, so I felt a little bit worried about maybe the M3 might not manage. It could struggle a little bit, but it didn't, and it was perfect. A little bit of noise, that's all, from the ISO. Took it over to Photoshop, did a little bit of post-production and took the noise away. So enjoy the video, and don't forget, give us a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe. Take care guys, all the best, and don't forget, get out and shoot, you know you want to. See you soon.